Hey, Mr. Fish here, and I've got some questions about Altered TCG. Now, so far, I did get to play a handful of games on this website that I just discovered 2 years ago, thanks to somebody on Discord, called Board Game Arena, and it's great. I can play a full game in one sitting. I could play throughout the day. I can play over a couple days. It's it's great. I didn't know something like this existed. It kind of brings me back to Words with Friends back in the day, being able to play it over a span of days. And yeah, it's cool. And overall, great experience. Now, I come from a more casual background, so kitchen table, casual, not so much in the competitive side, but I found this game pretty refreshing. I don't know if there's other games out there in the past that are similar. Maybe there is. Maybe there's some inspiration from other games, but overall, very refreshing for a newbie like me. And yeah, it is an ambitious project, mainly because of the QR code situation. If you haven't already noticed on the screen, and I'm not gonna get into that. There's a lot of questions I have about that still, but overall, I did want to kind of just briefly go over the game because that's mainly um, where my interest is. And yeah, so overall, I did get to try a few decks. I tried the pink deck, which is Lyra, and Lyra was wild with the dice. And I don't mind a little dice in a card game. I know some really aren't into it, but yeah, to be honest, I wasn't getting really any luck with it. The one game I played with it, I just kept rolling ones, and yeah, luck wasn't on my side. And it was fun. It was fun to, I guess, roll the dice and see uh, what would happen. And but after a while, it did kind of get annoying, and I could feel like it would get annoying if to your opponent if things were going great. But overall, not my thing so far. Pink deck Lyra. I did try a purple deck after that, which is Yzmir, and it was a control deck with high mana cost that moved a bit too slow for my taste. Now, I'm sure getting a little more experience and testing it out, it won't feel like such a slow deck, but personally, um, it was a tough deck to manage. And yeah, there was some high cost characters in there, cards, and somebody did mention to me that that is one of the harder decks to jump into the game with. So yeah, and the next one I tried was Green Deck, which is Muna. And so far, that's what I've been sticking to. I feel like that faction is something that is interesting and I want to keep testing out. And yeah, and it uses as a most of the deck I've noticed uses this ability called Anchor, which pretty much keeps your character, your card, your creature active on the field for instead of going to the reserve at the end. And I think that's pretty useful. I do feel like it has a few high mana cost cards, which I think it got me thinking a lot, and in a good way. I usually like to just go all in, go fast, go quick with a card game, and just boom, 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 and take a lot of risks. This one, it got me thinking, and with that mushroom card, with the anchor effect too. I can't remember the name off of the head, but I know it's gonna show up on the gameplay above. That one was, I, I, I it helped a lot, and there's some cool mana boost cards in there. There's one can't remember the name, but I'm pretty sure probably already played or gonna be played on the screen right here. And it gives 2 mana boosts to 2 cards of my choosing, and I thought that was like, wow, like, damn, that was pretty good. And but moving on to something that I would usually be a little more into was the red deck, which is Bravos. Now, Bravos is fun. I played Bravos twice so far, and it was quick to learn. It was fun. I feel like it's on the easier side to learn, especially for a noob like me, and I enjoyed it. I did notice that you can get a really good head start with that deck, and and yeah, it's feels like you're speeding through the expedition, which is the expedition, I guess, is like the center of the board game, where basically you have your companion and you have your heroes, and they both have to meet, and once they meet, you win. That's the goal of the game. You win the game. And so you kind of have to consider, like, um, each side on where you're going to place the cards. So there's a lot to it. It feels like a lot, but to be quite honest, like, after a few games, it felt really natural. Complexity wise, on the maybe medium to low. And keep in mind, I'm more of a noob gamer. I'm a little bit slow too, so um, I yeah, I mean, whew, I lost my train of thought there, but overall, good experience. Um, as far as gameplay wise, now I would love to get your guys' opinion if you've played Altered. Like, please give me your opinion. What do you feel? What do you like so far or don't like about the gameplay? Personally, I love the mana system. That's something that it feels good so far. I like the flow of it. I like that you can add uh turn one of your cards into a mana card, and to me personally, it feels nice. As comparing it to, like, Magic the Gathering, which the mana system can be annoying at times, to be quite honest. Those games where you just, the I don't know, you don't shuffle the deck well enough, and sometimes that mana doesn't come out towards the end when it's too late. But yeah, I thought it was great. That's my favorite part of it. Now, as far as the art, I'm a big art guy. I'll be quite honest. The art's great. Um, Nothing against the artists. I do feel the art style overall is a little bit generic, and I've seen it in other board games or other card games, and it's a little bit more on the generic side. So honestly, when I first heard about Altered and first maybe watched, I don't know if it was an interview, and maybe it was on Main Deck about mid last year, probably. Main Deck is another channel that you should check out. I will link it below. They have a really, really nice in-depth how to play for Altered, and they do talk pretty often, I believe, on the weekly basis since the past few months on Altered. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Go check it out. And yeah, so I found out about it mid last year, and to be honest, I was quite skeptical with the whole QR situation. And like I said, I don't want to get too far into it. I just know surface level, cool stuff. You can keep track of your cards online, so you would scan your cards into this database. The other thing where it kind of gets a little bit confusing is you can actually order your cards. Like, to be delivered to your house, and that's ambitious. It's pretty interesting, and I'm just curious to see how that pans out. And there is supposedly gonna be some unique rares, so some one of one cards that you can find in booster packs that I guess only you can be the sole owner of. And I guess if somebody else would want to be the owner of it or would want to get one, I guess you could sell the rights to that card to somebody else so that they can print it. It's there's a lot to it, and um it's ambitious. Personally, I am having a tough time seeing if, because this is in Kickstarter, it's already hit 1 million plus in a few days. So I'm having a hard time seeing through if there's some smoke there about it being, is everybody pledging, is everybody getting hyped about it because it's a really good game and has great potential, and or is it the hype over this ambitious idea regarding the QR codes and the printing and being able to deliver it to your house directly? And that's where I'm having this conflict. I'm not quite sure how I feel regarding that, and I like to think of things in different scenarios. And to get a little bit more personal, and right, I'm just gonna like vent a little bit, and then I'm gonna get to the questionnaire, because I have a lot of questions to ask, especially those who have been following Altered and know a bit more than me, and I would love to get your input. But before I get to that, very quick, one of the things that I felt kind of irked me a little bit regarding the Kickstarter situation was the stretch goals. Now, I I could under the issue is the stretch goals haven't been physical rewards, and I think there's maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 have been already reached, and they've been more of like upgrading your booster packs so they can have, or packs so you can have more chances of getting rares, and or alternative cards. And it's kind of, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way in a bit. And the reason why it rubs me the wrong way is because I've supported other or pledged other Kickstarter trading card games, and more than most have failed or kind of been a disappointment. And something like this kind of just, I don't know. When I see stuff like this, I could understand, like, okay, like if you're not gonna give some physical rewards, like, there's other ways, I guess, to reward the your supporters. But I do feel that this is catered more to the booster boxes and the people that pledge booster boxes, and for those that, but there to and to I need to mention this, there are only a few tiers. There's a tier with just 2 decks. There's a tier with 2 decks and 1 booster box. There's a tier with, I believe, 3 booster boxes and 2 decks. And the next one is like a ridiculous, I can't say ridiculous, it's a lot. I can't imagine ever pledging that much, because it's a lot of money. But I think it ranges in the 5,000, so you're getting, like, I don't know, 25 booster boxes. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong there, but you get the concept, and that's it. And so the only benefit I see with the latest stretch goals are for those who purchase booster boxes, and mainly for those who purchase more than 1 booster box. And the booster boxes are a bit on the pricey side. They're already 100 plus, and for indie card games, at least recently, they've all been under, most of them have been under 100. And I guess I could understand because the game is from France. So, there's probably, different fees there. And I don't want to get into it because I don't really know too much about that. But yes, it irked me the wrong way that these stretch goals, so many stretch goals already, and we're already in the millions, and or a million plus, and there isn't any physical substance. There's nothing to support the player, and I'm I'm sitting there. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I'm looking forward to see what else they have in store. Because you go to the comments, all they say is it's just 2 3 days. It's only been 48 hours, and there's more to come. So yeah, maybe there is more to come. So I definitely don't want to be too negative about that. But yeah, let's get some let's let's get some playmats in. Let's some tokens, some posters, and the thing that I love are uncut sheets, and that is only available in the biggest pledge, which is like 5K plus or something. So let's at least give us the option to obtain one of those. But yeah, like, I mean, come on, at least some stickers, some lore books, some posters, some stuff to support the artist. I mean, it is a game for the players and it has that feeling. And maybe because it has that feeling already and they have a tight community, that they are trying to cater a little bit more to collectors. But it's a pricey Kickstarter to support. And I say that just based off the other indie card games that I've seen. Um, yeah, that's just me rambling on. And I just kind of needed to let that out. But what do you guys think? You guys feel the same way? I don't know. What is your perspective? All right, let's get to the questions I got. So, just overall, what do you think of the Kickstarter, guys? Like, what's your honest opinion? Let's try not to bash on each other. Let's just be honest, because it's money, it's time into this new card game when there's many other card games to put or invest in. And when I mean invest, I mean mainly invest in time. But yes, invest, our funds are what we work for. So let me know what you think overall. Let's not bash each other, because I know we all look at it at a different perspective, but we all can see that maybe there is something a little suspicious, or something that, yeah, like it's a little obvious, like whatever it is. But yeah, and if you played the game, let me know, what do you think so far? What's your favorite part of the game? Like I said, I love the mana system. That's one of my favorite parts. Ooh, so what is one thing that you don't like about the game? I will say this. One thing that I'm hoping changes, and maybe it will change, because it is just the Kickstarter, is factions only being limited to one faction in a deck. So I like to be, I'm more of a free spirited kind of person, so I like to mix different factions or whatever in other card games. Hopefully that restriction doesn't continue on. I don't like to just stick with one color. I like to kind of just mix and match, and that probably does have to do with playing Magic. It being like, the game that I played the most over time, and kind of grown a little bit of a love for it, even though right now I'm kind of hating on it with all the news and AI art stuff. And anyways, what do you think of the QR code? Does it look ugly? Do you kind of forget it as you're playing? But yeah, and if you want to hit up a game on TTS or on a board game arena, let me know. All right, Mr. Fish out.